Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of June 25th, 2024. Welcome to the middle of summer. We are post-NCAA athletic year now, with the baseball D1 championship just finishing. Congratulations to Tennessee. And RIP to Texas A&M, who took an L last night and has continued to fall down the tree today, hitting every single branch on the way down.
Well, they momentarily propped up a little bit.
Yeah, then
they got
then
some good news.
What was their good
news? Which made everybody else mad online.
What was the good news?
We'll get to that. We'll get
yes.
to that a little bit later. But there was some good news, and it made everybody else mad online. Which I'm dubbing this week Mad Online Week because everybody.
Why are you doing? Yeah,
I will get to it a little bit later, but. This week is just set up for everybody all college football fans to just argue. Like, there's no sports. There's not any college sports. There's nothing to do. People are going to start putting out lists, ratings, whatever, rankings. There's going to be so much stuff out here, and people are just going to be quote tweeting and angry the entire week. It is Mad Online Week.
Good to know. This is my chance then to put out my SEC teams ranked by their blood type. SEC coaches ranked by blood type or something. What if I could get everyone's blood type? You think I could FOIA someone's blood type?
You could if this was Japan.
Well, I was about to say, because if I've learned one thing about being an anime nerd, I know that everyone's blood type is easily available.
I want to let you know is that's, as 3-year Letterman coach says, that's probably a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, though?
I don't know if it's accurate or not.
I think by knowing everyone's blood type, we could learn a lot more about our coaches. I'm just saying.
Can I make a confession here?
Yeah.
I don't know your own blood type.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm with Arthur. I can't remember either.
Really?
Did you not keep meaning to ask?
Really?
What is wrong with you guys?
I keep meaning to ask. I just I always forget, or I'm thinking about something else, or
I donate blood. I donate blood every now and then, and they tell me the blood type, and it's in one ear and out the other. It's just I cannot. I have to take a picture and save it in my phone, and I keep forgetting to do that. But
they gave me a card years ago with my blood type on it.
There needs to be. I think there's an A and B involved. I don't know.
There usually is.
Yeah.
There isn't for me. I'm an O positive. I'm
also O positive. Yeah.
I'm very boring. If there's an A or B involved, you're into very unique blood.
Yeah.
I think I don't. I could totally be wrong.
Okay. God.
I don't
know.
Don't take my word for this at all. I have no idea. I got blood. I got blood tested the other day. Let me. I'm gonna call them tomorrow and I'll figure it out.
I was about to say you don't have it written down. So I'll
call. I'll forget. I'll forget to call the doc. It's just hey, your cholesterol is okay. I'm okay. What's my blood type?
Yeah, man. It's honestly I'm overdue for seeing a doctor. Not there's anything wrong. It's just man, I got to get back in that rhythm.
Yeah.
Because I was moving through some jobs, and every time you change jobs, your health insurance changes, and then you have a completely different set of doctors you can go visit, and it's super disruptive, and I've just never I need to get back on that, because up until I turned 26, I was decent about that, and then now it's oh, I had now I have a job where I hope to be there a long time, and it's okay, I got to get on this. It's a good insurance too. I got to get on this, really taking advantage of this good insurance.
Well, folks, before we get too far, as always, I'm Jordan. With me tonight, I have Commish. We have guests Kevin and Brigit, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Kevin, how are you, sir?
I'm good. It's haven't been on here in a while, so I'm turning my brain off and getting ready to just see what happens.
Yeah, bullshit for a bit. Brigit, you're back after one episode, so apparently you're ready to fight.
I've missed you guys a lot.
I missed you too. It's been wonderful. Commish, how are you, sir?
I'm pretty good. It's been the parental injury day for me personally. So my 7-year-old hit me in the right eye, a direct hit with a pool noodle.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a smack with the pool noodle. I'm talking about it was like thrown like a dart, like
Okay.
just the whole pool noodle, just like right to the eye. So I had ice on my eye for about 30 minutes. Then the not even a year and a half toddler decided to crawl on my back and just unhinge her jaw and bite the ever living crap out of me. So yeah, I'm banged up. I'm fighting through injuries, but I'm still here.
The important thing. Folks, I want to start with talking about raw dogging it on a flight. An awful set of words. This is from @Catherine Fiona on Twitter. Kate Lindsay is her screen name. Quote, there's a not insignificant subset of men who are raw dogging, in quotes, flights. No entertainment, no headphones, just watching the flight map for 8 hours. Bonus points if you don't pee or eat. I cannot fathom this. My ADHD brain is like, even before y'all listeners who are younger, there was a time when there was nothing you could really take on plane. Like there was nothing to do on planes, like books and my Game Boy that they made you shut your Game Boy down during certain parts of the flight because they were pretty sure it would get interference, which is hilarious in hindsight because it's a Game Boy. It basically was 4 AA batteries and would run for 20 years on those. But like the idea of nothing for 8 hours. Ugh.
I understand watching the flight map. Like
Yes.
that's what I do. But I have to have something in my ears and I have to be looking at something else. Like that's why I get the window seat so that I can like have something to occupy my ADHD brain.
Right. You need something.
Right. And then when I sit, like I'm sitting because I'm in the window seat and my social anxiety makes it so I'm not going to ask somebody, "Hey, can you get up? I have to pee." Unless I really have to pee.
You're just there forever, right?
Right. I live here now. Like this is my home. I can't imagine not sleeping either. That's the thing too. Like 8 hours on a plane, not even like, oh, maybe I'll take like
I can't sleep on a plane. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I
was
would
the
never
one
have
that
survived living in Asia if I couldn't sleep on a plane.
on the school bus, I could never sleep in the morning. I could never do the like any man, I have to have it's very hard for me to get to sleep. Like very difficult. Period. But like I can't do it on a plane or anything like that unless I'm like absolutely just exhausted to the core where my body shuts down and I sleep. But that rarely happens. For some odd reason I can keep going on whatever limited energy. But I guess that's the parentness.
See, I honestly, like, I respect this. I wouldn't do it personally, but, like, I respect this, right? Because I feel like in our daily lives, we're super busy. We're always connected. We're always online. Like, you're never that far away, especially if you have a job or, like, you can get an email on your phone from work. Like, I mean, maybe 8 hours is a long time. That's a pretty long flight. I don't, like, you'd probably be flying international for that.
You'd have to.
But,
be.
like, yeah, just having, like, a couple hours of absolutely nothing, like that honestly sounds pretty good. I personally wouldn't do it on a flight, but like just being like I'm just gonna clear my mind completely. I'm just gonna be like as calm as possible. Like I totally understand that and I respect that. I will do this if there's like a lot of turbulence. Because if there's a lot of turbulence, then it's like, okay, like any of the other things I would have done, like I'm not going to be able to get done. Like I'm not going to be able to get my laptop out and put it on the tray table, something like that, right? Or like I'm not going to be able to, I don't want to be like eating or drinking if there's like a significant turbulence. So like if that's happening, then like I will do this. But I'm someone like my mindset, I paid a lot of money for this flight, right? So obviously, like I want to like maximize what I get out of it. So like anytime there's meal service, like hell yeah, I'm eating that meal. Anytime there's beverage service, like hell yeah, like I'll take another drink. Um,
That's right.
anything like the in-flight
Give me,
movies.
give me that can of ginger ale.
Let's say
Exactly.
Arthur, what is your airplane drink?
It depends on what class I'm sitting in. You know, if
I
I'm
mean coach.
Oh,
coach.
okay.
okay.
Man.
Well,
Oh.
Fancy
on the
pants over
occasion-
here.
Oh man, I've never
business
been
class.
in like a bigger class whatsoever. Everybody join the Patreon so Commish can ride first class.
I mean, honestly, it's not that. So, like, you can be strategic about it, and like, you know, it's doable. But no. So if I'm back in coach, and it's like a flight where like it costs money to get alcohol, then it depends on like what my mood is. If I'm feeling like drowsy, I'll probably have like a Coke where it has some caffeine, but like not a lot of caffeine. Especially like a lot of the flights I do are like across the country. So you'll probably have multiple beverage services. So like the last beverage service, I'll have a Coke so that like I have a little bit of energy when I get off the plane, and I'll maybe have like a Sprite, like on like the first time they come through, something like that. But the biggest thing that I'm focused on is the movies, right? I'm a big movie fan. I love watching movies. And like literally the first thing I do when I sit down on my flight is I go through the movie offerings, and I will just like I'll pull up like I'll make a list, like literally in the notes app on my phone. I'll make a list of every movie that I would be interested in seeing. I put it has the length of the movie, and then like I'll make a game plan right from the get go. Like, okay, like I'm gonna watch this and then that, right? Like
That's a lot of energy, man.
when I
Yeah.
flew
That's
like
way
when I
more
flew to
game planning.
Japan, like I knew I was like, we're watching The Fugitive, we're watching the newest Mission Impossible movie, we're watching Godzilla -1, and finishing it up with Game Night because that's a shorter movie that would fit in that window there. So yeah, like my next flight coming up in July, I'm flying out to Portland for the Shutdown Fullcast live show, and you know I don't know what American Airlines is going to have for the movies there, but you know as soon as I get on that plane, like I'm making a list, I'm checking it twice, and there I'll be up in first class, so I'll be having some alcoholic beverages instead.
Oh, the fancy flights. Okay. Well, for the rest of us, back in the back of the plane.
I
Okay,
mean,
but I
the
do
one that
like when
the one that's
Alaska
herding cattle on
has-
Southwest,
yeah.
like myself.
No, I can't do
Oh,
that.
absolutely not.
Oh no.
No.
Like if
I've done
Alaska
it
has
so
like
much.
premium economy upgrade, that's what I'm doing. Because sometimes it's like I've upgraded for like $9. I'm like, yes, I will pay $9.
Yes, that is well within the
fly.
range.
Yeah. Well, because I don't do the long hauls as much anymore, so it makes it easier to just like.
Yeah.
Even my Detroit one was like $30. I'm like, yeah, I'll pay $30 to be in a
Yes.
in a cushier seat for 5 hours.
Yeah. What I do, I have like a formula where I calculate out
This is not surprising at all.
I have a number, right, where it's how much I make an hour at work. And what I've told myself is that then I will calculate out the length of the flight, and the amount of pay I will pay for an upgrade is equal to my like hourly rate at work. So like if it's a 2-hour flight, the maximum I will pay for the upgrade is what I make in 2 hours of work.
You are way more intense about this. I am
Way
totally
more
vibes
logical.
based.
I'm just vibes.
Yeah, exactly right. I am entirely vibes based on this.
I'm like, does this feel like it's worth it? I
Listen,
could be
listen.
fine.
I love the vibes of air travel. I love airport vibes, airplane
Right.
vibes. Like
Weird.
I love doing
That's
it.
me. I
But
will get there like 4 hours early. I'm
every single thing I do in the airport is very calculated. Like everything, like I have a game plan. I know exactly like where I'm going to try to get food. I know
others.
exactly.
Serious air travel, Arthur.
No, I'm serious. Like I'll tell you right now.
He's like, no, I'm
in-
serious.
for my flight in July when I'm flying out to Portland, I'm connecting in at DFW.
Oh, I mean,
I think I have a long layover, right? I always try to get that long layover so I can chill in the airport. And my game plan, I think I want to check out the Dirk Nowitzki restaurant at DFW because he has a restaurant in the airport.
I did not even know this.
It's in Terminal C. And so I want to go there.
Time.
I have like a 3.5 hour layover for that. And then I'll check that out. Maybe have something to eat. Maybe have a drink there, and then I'll probably go to the lounge. I'll be in the lounge until it's time for me to go catch my flight, and then but I have that all planned before I'm there.
He tweets this. I mean, like you treat the airport as like a destination in the entire vacation, essentially. Like,
Absolutely.
This is part, instead of just like most of us, which I think the rest of us on the podcast are just like, no, point A to point B, get me the hell out of there as fast as possible. Maybe I need to get Dunkin' in the morning, or, I mean, it's cool if they have Popeyes here or whatever. Hey, look, it's a Waffle House. No, there's no Waffle House in an airport. But
an airport Waffle House would be amazing.
Oh my god,
it'd
be such a mess.
We don't need fights in the airport. All right,
more fights in the airport.
More. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We don't need more. But again, they may be better security than TSA. I don't know, but really, yeah. It's just me. It's like I've just go in San Antonio. Like I really have limited options to get out. Like Southwest, they don't even have the map on most of their flights to like look at. You're lucky to see that. When I flew to Salt Lake from San Antonio, I flew Delta, and I was like, this is really nice. Like there's like movies. It's like, for me, it's like, oh, this is fancy. Like, and I'm like, okay. I mean, even with Southwest, it's like, I'm not going to pay the extra to be like boarding A class. Get out.
No, why would you do that? No.
Why would I? No. I mean, I want to be A, 15 through 20 or something in the lineup. Like, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, Arthur tweet, you treat the layover as a destination. I was like, no, with kids or whatever I do, it's like my dad would plan these trips like growing up where we would get out first thing in the morning, and then we're immediately doing something as soon as we land. So like there is no time to enjoy the airport. And I think the last time that I met up with my dad on a vacation was I flew from San Antonio to Chicago, and there was like an 11 a.m. game at Wrigley. So I got in at like 9 a.m. and like taxi to Wrigley. Like basically just like, I don't even know. Like I met up with him he had a rental car, threw the bag in the rental car, and then we're already at Wrigley, and I'm drinking, what is it? What was their beer? Old Style? I'm drinking an Old Style tall boy at like 11 a.m.
Yeah, man, that's how you do it.
That's how you got to do it.
That's the way to travel.
I mean, if everything goes, I think the plan, and this, like, I would be like meeting up with some other family members for this. But the plan, if like the weather's good, is that I'll land in Portland. I'll get my rental car and just drive straight to the Columbia River Gorge and go hiking.
Yeah, and
like then like just right off the plane. That's what I'll do. Listen. I feel like we talk about football here, right? Or like we do when it's in season. It's
usually, sure, why not?
Sometimes we talk about mailbox lasagna. Who knows?
Right. But I'm saying like a football coach goes into a football game with a plan, right? And you have all of these like, okay, like here's what we're gonna do here, here's what we're gonna do. Like we have all of these things that we've rehearsed, that we've come up with, that like, okay, we know what we're gonna do here. I feel like I approach travel like a football coach approaches a football game. Where like, yes, you have to be able to think on your feet. You're going to have situations come up where you have to improvise, you have to audible, but you're going to go in with a plan. You're going to go, this is what we're going to accomplish. This is what we're going to try to do. And that's what I do whenever I travel. I'm really excited actually because I'm supposed to get my car back tomorrow, which means I get to plan like a couple road trips in a very short amount of time. Like it's all gonna be last minute because I didn't know for sure. Like I didn't want to plan until I knew for sure I was getting my car back from the shop. And now I got to plan like a bunch of road trips real last minute.
Yeah. I think as we go forward, we're now on to basically the news for today. And the news just hit. Chris Vanini dropped this for us from The Athletic. And he said, and announced that the NCAA D1 Council has approved the proposal to allow analysts and quality control assistants to coach on the field. We are now at the unlimited coach on the field era.
Yeah.
So I feel like we are now going to see more of an exodus of G5 coaches moving up for assistant jobs, and not even like big name assistant, but I was joking in the Discord, like we're going to see the guy on the sideline whose job it is to figure out 3rd and 5s. And that's his job. And now he's on the sideline too. And like, we're going to get some ridiculous numbers here. At some point, we're going to get to a 2-to-1 like player to coach ratio on the sideline. And that's
Like,
going to be so
how
chaotic.
how many are we at right now? Like right now, coaches, before this takes into effect? Do we have
Let's
like a ballpark figure? I'm gonna go Texas Longhorns coaching staff right now. Let's just go with that because Texas is in the picture that Chris Vanini
Okay,
tweeted.
so right now,
Football
you're
coach.
allowed to have the head coach and 10 assistants.
Okay, so that's I'm talking about. I want to know how many analysts they have because technically, they're probably gonna have like more. So
Well,
the
so that's the
coaching
thing,
staff-
right? Is that all of a sudden it opens it up to analysts, right? So what does Texas have for analysts?
Okay, Texas does not have any analysts listed. Ooh, being sneaky here.
Well,
Well,
about
I,
someplace like Georgia.
That's what I'm
We
looking-
know
I'm looking-
they have a lot of us.
I'm looking at Georgia. I see quality control. Let's see here. So coaches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see 11 coaches listed under coaching staff. Under support staff, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some of these are like creative design people. Performance chef is listed underneath here too. For the performance sous chef, sure.
Put the chef on the field.
Yeah. But the defensive grad assistant, the head performance chef, which is somehow different. Okay. Wow, they list everyone here. But you could see another, like, oh, hold up. There is a Montgomery Van Gorder as quality control offense at Georgia. Brian, is your son working for Georgia?
Oh, hold on. Montgomery Van Gorder. Okay.
Montgomery, he looks like his dad, and it's kind of weird. I'll drop a picture for y'all. He played at Notre Dame, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a coach at Notre Dame.
Yeah. Montgomery Van Gorder is now a quality control analyst at Georgia. Ooh.
Does he have a wiki?
His
No.
Twitter handle is Coach Gummy, which is just, yeah, that's my reaction too.
Coach Gummy.
Okay, Coach Gummy. Well, if 7,49 people follow Coach Gummy, our account is now one of them.
Yeah.
Congrats, Coach Gummy.
If Coach Gummy has one follower.
He just
Coach Gummy has one follower.
In fact, he just tweeted out about that new rule change.
Oh my God.
So Coach Gummy's on the sideline.
Coach Gummy's hype now.
He's expecting to be on the sideline.
Yeah,
Like, he's going to have some questions because he's like, okay, but on June 25th.
Okay, so I like we could see Georgia add another like 10 to 15 people on the sideline if they put everyone down there. The box is going to start looking like a fucking clown car. Or do they start limiting people in the box just for like space reasons? Because that's tight anyways. What would be a team in D1 that would have like when people did that really bad like survey, was it Kansas State that had like no coaches? I think it was Kansas State. Hold up.
No, there was I can't remember what it was. It's just like they didn't have any like analysts whatsoever. It feels like it was associated with Chip Kelly, but because he doesn't like
special teams.
He doesn't like special teams. He would never.
I love the idea of someone still having all these analysts
still
and not
refusing
having a special
to
teams
do the
coach.
special teams coach. But like essentially now, if you have a special teams analyst, they are now a special teams coach, so you can't get away with that. And that's why Chip Kelly went to be the offensive coordinator of Ohio State. He knew this was coming.
Oh, I forgot about that. Holy shit! I forgot where he went. I knew he left.
Yeah.
I forgot that's where he went.
It's always I love bringing that up. Like I remember random factoids, and then Jordan has totally forgot about them in the entire offseason. and then just dumping the Chip Kelly OC Ohio State
Oh
era.
my God, that's
You know,
wow. Ohio State fans, y'all are this is gonna be a rough one, y'all. I hope Michigan takes a step back, because otherwise, oh boy.
Ohio State's really, they're going to be, honestly, in the AP poll, I could see them like at least 1 through 3. I could maybe see them 1.
Oh yeah,
in the preseason.
And then when they get first loss, it's gonna be real rough.
Their schedule is not that hard.
Or the worst one is that if they're like ranked towards the top all season, feel very fraudulent the whole season while doing that, and then get destroyed by Michigan in the last game of the season.
Oh, so that's the Notre Dame problem.
Yes, right. They feel completely fraudulent, and then the minute they hit any resistance, it falls apart.
Their first difficult game would probably be on the road at Oregon, October 12th. If you want to count Iowa coming to them the week before, yeah. But it's Akron.
That's a body blow back to back. Holy shit! To have to deal with Iowa week 1 week, and then Oregon the next. Ooh.
And
that flight's gonna feel rough.
Yeah, that's gonna be their first like true test. But I mean, they start with Akron, then they welcome in the high horse of Western Michigan, and then Marshall, which would be funny if a Notre Dame thing happened to Ohio State, but again, I doubt that. Then Michigan State, which I don't know what they got this year, but new coach, new whatever. Then Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, then it's Penn State. Purdue goes to Ohio State, so it's not.
No.
At Wrigley against Northwestern.
Oh, that's right.
Home against Indiana, and they're home against Michigan. So
it doesn't matter.
Not too difficult for them.
So it's just this idea of having unlimited coaches on the sidelines that we're going to see. I think this, like, there is a tipping point here, right? There's diminishing returns.
There's also just the question of like salary pool. Like, they're paying these analysts right now. Yeah. Are they going to make more to be on the field? Like, no. Are the schools going to give them more money? Like,
well, I mean, if they want to start hiring them away,
that's where Jordan brought up earlier, more like G5 head coaches going to be on-field coaches somewhere else.
Well, I mean, like right now you have the tipping point where you had Maurice Linguist. Like essentially he was kind of on I would say probably been on the hot seat at Buffalo if he stayed this year.
There's no hot seat at Buffalo. The fuck are you talking about?
There absolutely is.
There is a hot seat at Buffalo. Look, man, he had a bad year, and I could say that he was probably in a Satterfield year. So I will say that. Look. Don't believe me. It's fine.
Okay, I don't. It's fine.
It's okay. But, I mean, again, there's, they pull that move. And then you have, like, another one like Kane Womack from South Alabama go up to Bama to be, like, a co-coordinator. So, I mean, they're kind of pulling the head coaches. Now, when they start poaching, like, coordinators to do this, to become analysts at, like, the big school, that's kind of like getting that'd get a little bit worrisome, I think. But the thing that I kind of like this though, if this happens and they start poaching like established coordinators in the G5 to become the analysts, you're going to get the G5s to take more risks, to take more chances on like younger analysts, younger coaches, expand the coaching pool. That's the thing. I kind of like that thing, but I don't know if it's necessarily all bad. But
the thing I've heard that people have
adaptation.
The people have liked about this is that yes, it lets more people get into the coaching job pool and get experience. Because right now, when you have only so many coaches that are allowed to have contact with students, you're limiting yourself basically. That until someone dies, because what happens, you keep hiring fucking 100-year-old coaches, and so you're not getting the young folks don't get a chance to do this. So from that point of view, I love it. What I don't like is this idea of we're going to be paying these analysts, nothing to come be analysts for a year for the experience, because then that limits it to people who can afford to take the year and shit like that.
Now I have like weird thoughts of like college football LinkedIn.
Yeah, I mean, it's there, dude.
CFB LinkedIn. What do we call it in? I mean, they're
on LinkedIn. You need to see it.
On LinkedIn.
I mean, they are on LinkedIn. Yeah.
I watched the full cast after dark on LinkedIn once, and now it just recommends all of these college football people to like you should follow Robert Griffin III on LinkedIn.
Sure. Hey, RG3, if you want to follow us on LinkedIn, go for it.
We need LinkedIn, I think.
No, we don't.
Can we put like the sicko in like a suit and tie?
That we can do, yes.
Okay, we can do that.
I'm going to move stuff around to make sure we stay with college football.
Do the college football, LinkedIn. We just call it Huddle Up.
Isn't Huddle something else?
Huddle Up.
Okay.
That's right.
Commish, why is it Mad Week?
Why is it Mad Week? Okay, so I already mentioned this is Mad Online Week, which we've, again. All right. So what happened after the College World Series? Tennessee won, and they hung on to win, and they beat A&M 6-5. So like A&M tried to cut the 5-run lead down, and they cut it to 1, and they just could not push another run across to tie it. After they won, Tennessee, the coach got Gatorade dumped on him, and he's celebrating with the players. He's going nuts, he's celebrating like he's a player. This angered some folks. They got mad online because, how dare, it's classless that this coach is celebrating like this with his players. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're getting mad about this, about a celebration, like the celebration police, which we had if you watched English Premier League soccer, that was kind of a thing the entire season. You can't celebrate, a goal like that, or a win. It's ridiculous. So there's this weird celebration police. You can't do this. I believe Greg McElroy on a podcast today was just furious with the head coach of Tennessee celebrating like that. So on his show, I forgot what it's called, but so that happened. Then you have the A&M fans who were upset that they lost. They were mad. On top of this, you have the college football, EA Sports College Football 25 dropping a bunch of stuff this week. So they have, it's rankings week. So they're just basically previewing the entire game, where the one that dropped today was the toughest places to play. We'll get into that in a little bit detail. Then it's the Sight and Sounds deep dive. Then on Thursday, when the podcast comes out, it's going to be the top offenses and defenses. And then the cap off the Mad Online week, it is the overall team power rankings is coming out on Friday. And oh my God, is everybody going to be mad online? So I tweeted earlier today. I was like, just basically this week, it's Mad Online week. So 625, which is today, is get mad online. You're here. So everybody's upset about the rankings of the toughest places to play, which, again, I don't care. Whatever. EA, give me the ones who are the lowest, the easiest places to play. And then, on Wednesday, it's let the Mad Online simmer a little bit, because on 627, when they do the top offenses and defenses, you're going to get even madder online. And then on Friday, when they do the overall power rankings, oh my God, you're going to be the maddest online ever.
I'm going to avoid that day because I don't know.
It is just going to be so many people mad online over ratings in a video game with a disclaimer in it that says the ratings aren't, basically they are subject to change, which it's fine print, fine. But people are doing full breakdowns of the top 25 toughest places to play rated by EA Sports. And I'm like, whoo, everybody's mad. And this is just level 1 of mad. They'll be madder and then maddest.
It'll get worse.
And then on top of that, what happened to A&M today?
Wait, so before we do that, we get to that, let's talk about the list first, because you could not have written a list. This is some, and Arthur, I'm gonna need you to put a bleep in here. Trolling.
Yes,
because Kyle Field ranked first. Immediately, you put a bunch of people on tilt, right? Then you put things like Florida State right above Florida at 9 and 10. Like, that is weaponized. You put Clemson, Tennessee, Auburn, South Carolina right next to each other.
I know
weaponized.
You mentioned,
Yeah.
here, but I don't know if y'all could read this.
No, I can't. What does it say? This list is a disgrace. At least he's aware. Like he's growing self-aware, and I appreciate that.
Again, you put a list of like the toughest places to play. Like, no matter what you rank them, but
my fucking editor won't let me put a single list like this out, and it makes me angry.
Honestly, I feel like this is like of the days that they have planned, like this is the most like baity.
No, hard disagree. No, Fridays is going to be a meltdown.
Friday's going to be the worst.
Okay, but
I think Thursday's going to be worse than this.
I feel like the actual like concrete, like these are the numbers for your team. Like, yeah, there will be people that'll be like, oh, like our team's numbers too low or whatever. But like, I feel like for the most part, like at least there's some sort of like reality there. Whereas like toughest places to play feels like a really like just subjective, like you could just kind of pick what you want.
This wasn't subjective though.
Because right, no, I know they have like a metric or something, but like just putting like something like this out, like toughest places to play, that's like I feel like that's just like it's more abstracted from the game of college football than just like team ratings.
There's also kind of a personal attack reaction going on too with a lot of fans of like, oh, they're saying we're not loud at our stadium.
Gotcha.
Like, so there's that impact of, this is the only part of the game that most of the people playing the game can have any influence on, as minor as it may be.
No, I get that. I'm willing to sit here though, and like I'm getting angry enough just in of myself to be like, fuck it, I'm releasing a top 25 best game day atmospheres list tomorrow. Fuck it.
Like you're trying to get to the you want to make Mad Online Week about you at this point.
Yes, why not?
So, again, you want to get people mad at us, and then
they're going to be mad at someone. Be mad at us.
Okay, so I mean, really, at this point, you could do that graphic that you like to do, the one a year. You have that freebie.
I do have a freebie.
Go right ahead. The freebie that you have, do it. Do whatever you want to do, and just like put like the really really small text that nobody will read, and just throw it out there.
Okay,
the bait list. You want to go ahead and do that because everybody's going to be worked into a frenzy. This is going to be like throwing chum into the waters, and all of the online mad sharks are just going to eat it up. So
listen, I see this as a public service. Jordan is just helping everyone get into mid-season form for being really mad about where their team is ranked in the AP poll.
Media literacy. What is media literacy besides what I'm trying to teach you? That's what I'm doing.
The real way to teach them media literacy is to just post a list of 1 through 25 without telling people what the thing is, and then watch them get mad and say it's just a list of 25 schools. Don't put a title on it. Just put 25 schools.
I'll put top 25 college football teams.
Just put top 25.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Just do top 25 and then list 25 random schools.
Can't be random though. It can't.
Don't even say
can't be
top.
random.
Just say 25 football schools and see how mad
I
people
like
get.
25 schools with football.
Okay, I like that. Done.
And then they'll be upset. Like, why didn't you put mine school in the 25 school? All right, let's put it in the brainstorming chat. You need to do this tomorrow.
Well, there's already on this list, we're already pissed off because there's no G5 representation. So all of a sudden, the G5 is like, this is an attack on us.
In the top 10, there's one in the 25 though.
Oh, yeah, Boise. Sorry, I missed Boise.
Yeah.
But
Boise
this is
there.
All of a sudden, the G5 fans in the mentions are like NATO. An attack on one is an attack on all, and Boise's like, no thanks, peace, we're awesome. But this is just going to get worse. And here's the thing: this is the part that can change very quickly, because what they've said about the game is that this changes.
It's dynamic.
Yes, like it should be if your team does well.
I mean, this is kind of what happens with, like, was it EAFC? It used to be FIFA. They do that. Like they'll change like team ratings and stuff based on their form or whatever. It's gonna happen to the teams, and it doesn't matter. It's the off season. They're looking for something to yell at this point. Like their anger needs to be pointed at something, and that's why I think they're gonna be so worked up. Like this is just starting it. And it wasn't too bad today, like from what I could tell online. Like,
no, you're wrong. It was, but it only didn't get there because A&M fans lost their shit 3 hours ago.
Well, yeah. So
they got distracted.
They got a little distracted,
and rightly so. Yeah.
Okay. So
but again,
I feel like
is just
it's going to be a frenzy. It's incredible marketing. I will say that they're slow rolling this stuff. By the game itself, like they don't need to build this hype. Like all of us are going to buy it, but they are just whipping everybody into a frenzy. It's going to be
their version of Meltdown May.
It is.
Yeah. Honestly, like I feel like I'm kind of on the fence about like, am I actually going to buy it? Because like, at least for me, that also means like buying a console. So like, it's like, okay, join our
Patreon so we can buy our console.
No, I gotta really want to play this. Yeah. Listen, I said on this episode already that I'm flying first class on my next trip. So
he's got the money. He doesn't need your fucking.
He's got money.
No, listen, I'm saying like,
hey, you poor ass listeners, Arthur doesn't need your fucking charity.
I could go to
money.
He can buy your ass, listeners.
Give me money so I can travel to weird destinations. Come on.
I could go to Target and buy like a PS5 and like play the game, but at the same time, like I don't know if I want to make that investment, and it feels weird to buy a console for exactly one game, like because I don't think there's anything else that I would play. So seeing things that hype it up kind of like actually does make me be like, oh, like maybe I need to do this,
Oh, so it's working. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about like smart investing and like sickos consult Arthur for your smart investing, but this is sound logic.
Mm-hmm.
The things that have gotten me, so the actual EA stuff here where they're putting out lists and whatever, I'm like, oh, okay, like this just feels like you want attention. The stuff that does have me kind of like, I don't know, maybe I got to get in on this is all of the stuff that Matt Brown has uncovered over the past couple of years and posting, like that makes me want to play the game. Honestly, that makes it feel like more authentically college football, that like there is like are like reporters that are able to use FOIA to like find out details about this. Like that makes it feel like, oh, this is real college football stuff right here.
Gotcha.
Like that's what has me kind of like, man, I might need to bite the bullet, right? And at some point we'll get a new Grand Theft Auto, and then I'll have a second game to play on a PlayStation.
So A&M's bad day continues. Well, they had a very good day because they were on top of the world, most tough place to play. Even though a lot of people were bringing up an App State game, or my favorite was, it's so tough even A&M can't win there. Yeah, yeah, that one.
I love the fact that they were like the bait list that they put out was the order of like Florida State.
Yeah.
And it's like 9 and 10 there. And it's just like, oh my God. Like this is like no matter what you put there at the end, and this list is trash or whatever, or it's insane, and I'm like, and then I saw somebody was just like, Wisconsin has tricked the entire United States of being a tough place to play at rank 7, and I'm like, and this is like
I do
like
think he was
actual
joking
media
on
member
that,
saying this. I'm like, Wisconsin tricking y'all. Those tricky Badgers.
So they have this day, but then A&M has some problems because at about 5 o'clock, news starts to break that their baseball coach is moving house. And he's moving house not in College Station, but to Austin. This would be less interesting if this coach had not said last night that basically, not quite the old Tommy Tuberville Pine Box comment, but pretty close. I took this job to be the last job I'd ever take, gonna die an Aggie, that kind of thing. And then 24 hours later, he's moving to Austin. It's some impressive, like,
let's
shenanigans.
Let's see the quote.
This
I think
is
I have
just
the full
shithousery.
quote.
This is
So
absolute
like,
shithousery.
So, somebody asked the question. I think I can't remember the person that was brave enough to ask the question. Shout out to them.
Hold up. I got it. It's in the the chat. So hold up.
All right. So basically, they ask about like the rumors of him potentially leaving the Aggies job. And then so what Schlossnagel says, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach of Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again. And that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. But I understand you got to ask the question. But I gave up a big part of my life to come and take this job. And I poured every ounce of my soul in this job. And I gave this job every ounce I could possibly give it. Right there.
It's like his answer changes halfway through. Because at first it's like, how dare you? And then by the end, he's like, I tried real hard, okay?
This was the answer I gave when people were like, are you going to go get a PhD? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm here. I'm giving it my heart and soul. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, no.
Absolutely not.
No.
And so he's moving to Austin. And this set off some feelings. As I would tell my kid, feels like y'all are having some big feelings right now.
Really big feelings.
Really big feelings.
Not really sure what to do with them.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Listen, Texas A&M, what do you do with the mad that you feel?
Mm-hmm. You put it on Twitter.
When you feel so mad that you want to roar.
Message Board Geniuses has been on
and count to
Texas Eggs all day.
1, 2, 3, 4. Daniel Tiger knows what to do. Texas Aggies. Listen to Daniel Tiger.
Daniel Tiger has it on lock.
And then, of course, it's like, oh, hey, the transfer portal's opening up. Oh, hey, the assistant's coming too. Oh, hey. And yeah, I mean, it's as bad as you think it is. So I get their feelings. But this is what it is now. And let's be honest here, this is what it's always been, just not as public.
Right, like this is the problem. Like this is the problem with trusting what a coach says.
Yeah.
Like anytime a coach says anything, I need them to show their work. Mm-hmm. Because
he also did the exact same thing 3 years ago.
At TCU.
Right before he took the A&M job.
Every coach does this. I love this job. I'm never leaving. I want to stay and build this Bye.
Except for Matt Campbell. And I'm not sure why, but I don't think he can leave anymore. I think he might own too many properties in Ames at this point. I'm not sure he can leave. This is, this is rough. And so I get the big feelings A&M. However,
it's justified. It's just a matter of what you do with those feelings. And sometimes it is not our turn to post.
Right. You don't need to post through this. It's okay.
Yeah, you don't have to post to it. You can,
or not, like, you can post just like, I don't know, take a walk around the block, dude. Like, think about what you're gonna post before you pick up your phone and just fire them off.
I mean, you just had a fantastic season. Like, you just did something where, I know you were on the precipice of a championship, and I know that's very frustrating to get that close and not take it home. You did have a key injury or two. One of your main lineup folks were injured, and you're probably missing them. You could only patch over it for so long. And, it's just something that there were so many in our replies that were just like, I think this is the straw that breaks me. And I'm like, no, you can't. Like, we're here to try to, like, get you out of that habit of, like, you saw the tweet, like, I'm going to base my happiness on the 18 to 22-year-olds. I'm like, no.
This will always come for you.
It's always going to happen to you, like, no matter what. Like, I mean, it's just math. And there's only one team that can win it all out of how many teams every year. It's ridiculous. This is why I love college football, because you could be happy with a bowl win in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes.
I mean, this is why I love that. Like,
there's different levels of happiness.
That's right. And this is why I love it. And we're here to highlight all those different levels of happiness. I don't care if you were Akron last year. You're thrilled with the 17-point comeback in the fourth quarter to win the wagon wheel.
Yeah.
That's again,
100%.
that's what it is.
Yeah. And you got to put the phones away for a bit. Stop posting.
Just take a walk, go get some awesome barbecue in Bryan. Just drive a little bit outside of College Station, leave campus, whatever you got to do.
What do you think? What if they don't want food? Because, I mean, that's my go-to. I eat my feelings.
Was it like stress eating?
Yeah. Like, so what else do you do if you don't stress eat?
Well, it's too hot to take a walk. So
it is like 100 to take a walk.
That's part of the.
I would not. Right, that's part of the problem. You're mad from the heat. It's like that Simpsons sketch where they're in New Orleans and it's the mob boss, and he's like just rattling off.
That's Big Daddy
and going, it's too hot.
That's Big Daddy from Chief Wiggum PI.
Yes,
that's right.
That's right.
Fantastic. The best show ever set in New Orleans.
I mean, for God's sakes, please give me more of that. Like, I've been begging for another episode of Chief Wiggum PI for like 20 years at this point.
I don't know. Like, I'm not going to encourage irresponsible drinking, but I don't know. Well. Maybe you go to the bar and you just have one.
Go take a
and
drive.
And then you drink a bunch of water before you go back home. A, because you drank, and B, because it's hot. And you just have a think, man.
Well, so I feel like something that maybe I want to try out instead of like stress eating, what about stress podcasting? You get really stressed out, just like go for like a quick podcast.
No one wants that. But then you burn the podcast. Then you burn the podcast.
You record it, and it's like writing. It's like that therapy exercise where you write letters and then you don't send them. You record your podcast and then you delete the file.
Patrons, let us know if you want to get another Patreon exclusive podcast line of Arthur's stress podcasting.
Men will stress podcast instead of going to therapy. Is all I'm going to say.
That's it exactly. Like, you could also have a live journal, but
yeah. Also, no one should read. Also, no one should read that either.
Right, exactly. That's why we had live journals, was so no one would read them. That's why everyone was friends locked.
Mm-hmm. Alternatively, you're Texas A&M, so you could put some overalls on and tell some really bad jokes.
Yes,
that's true.
That's part of your toughest place to play.
See, this is why I think they're the Brady.
Go pet a dog.
And you have such a good dog.
I mean, go see Rebel. Go check out their.
I'm
they
sure.
got a pretty.
There's therapy dogs all over.
They have a really.
Miss Rev. We have Miss Rev at home, and go give her some scritches.
If you're on campus at College Station, go check out your disc golf course. It's tough. It is an awesome course. It's awesome. It's like south of campus. It's God, man. There's a lot of water. Very frustrating, but it's fun to throw the disc as far as possible. But no, just I think the reason that A&M got the toughest place to play is this is going to be a really bad joke, but everybody else has cheerleaders. They're the only place to have yell leaders.
Yes,
that's right. So they yell better than you.
So this is what the patriarchy looks like.
That's right.
Before people went woke and got cheerleaders, men used to run things, and that's why it's better.
You can't have yell leaders anymore because of woke.
That's right.
Exactly. Another thing women took over was cheering at football games.
God damn it.
It's true, and we're coming for the rest of it. Watch out.
Look out.
So this is why the Notre Dame fans shush the other Notre Dame fans as long as you're not sitting in the student section.
Mm-hmm.
It's all coming together now.
Exactly. You're learning.
You see.
And yet we're 21 on that list. And your own fans will actively tell you to shut up if you're too loud in that stadium.
That was the funniest one on the list. That was the funniest one on the list.
Especially right after Kinnick,
yeah.
which is wildly underrated on that list.
And above Arkansas, which again is wildly underrated as well, because Arkansas gets real mean when they're good.
I looked down and I saw Arkansas that low on that list, and I wondered if my dyslexia was just really bad today, because I was like, wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Anyways, okay, that's going to be our slide into our ad read. As always, check our link tree and Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky for our partners. You get offer codes for things like that. Check out our Patreon for $5 a month. You get to join our Discord, as well as get access to our special podcasts, including Commish's Corner, Yes, Rah, 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 Yes, and the Prairie View Chronicles, episode 6, which will be out this week.
Yep, I'm going to be recording we have it planned to record tomorrow night, the final episode of the Prairie View Chronicles.
Okay.
Episode 7.
The Force Awakens. Got it. And then
we've been trying to shoehorn it, and it's not working.
They have not worked at all. I've listened to because I edit. I've listened. Those jokes die.
They don't work at all.
I've been trying. They're bad enough. I try to cut around them. I'm just gonna say they're that bad. Okay. Also, our merch store is open at stickoscommittee.org. Check that out. Check us out on YouTube and Instagram and Substack, where Commish wrote a great article about the 1963 Eastern Bowl because it was from East Carolina. They scanned it for you?
So I reached out to like Northeastern, and I reached out to East Carolina. Well, East Carolina had like an exhibit that they just started in their library, where all of like their archive football stuff. So they have like a special exhibit there. So I reached out to the library. I was like, hey, I can't find anything on like a trophy for the Eastern Bowl or anything like that. Do y'all happen to have like a program or photos from the game or something? And they totally had a program. And so they uploaded it in like 3 days, and they emailed it directly to the committee. And I just wrote an article on that one specific bowl game, which was pretty cool just to see a program of a bowl game and why they named it the Eastern Bowl, what their goals and aspirations were with a bowl game in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was very interesting and just a fun piece of college football history that people probably won't ever touch on, really.
We also have, shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They are our friends who do all the things we refuse to do because they've been dealing with Texags for the last 48 hours and couldn't pay me to do that. And lastly, Home Field Apparel, our partners we've been with the longest, the softest, comfiest collegiate apparel, hats, pants, shirts, all sorts of things. Use offer code yes, yes, for 15% off your first order. This week they are dropping Evergreen State, the Gooey Ducks. Let it all hang out. They look great. I'm so excited for the shirt.
Oh my god!
This
you
week
saw the hat?
I saw the hat too. It's great.
Whew. Sexy.
Arthur is rocking his Delta Devils shirt, his Fight Okra shirt right now. Mine is hopefully coming
Delta
tomorrow.
State.
Sorry, Delta State. My bad. Thank you.
You're thinking about the change of the logo. I know.
Yeah, I know. That's god. I'm not even gonna talk about that one because that just makes me angry.
Why, Mississippi Valley State? Why?
So we're back to the College World Series again.
Yes.
Tennessee wins.
Yes.
But also, they win the Jello Shot race.
They do.
And they don't win with this year wasn't about one team just absolutely massacring everyone else. It was actually a pretty close thing between the two finalists. Tennessee ends up with about 38,000. A&M ends up with about 32,000 Jello shots. Every other team is in 4 digits. Even Virginia almost broke 2,000. Good for them.
I want to give a shout out to Kentucky because they finished with the ultimate nice total.
So nice.
So nice of 6,969.
Bravo.
I don't know how you did it, Kentucky. Your first College World Series appearance was very nice.
I hope somebody just bought that last shot and everyone.
I hope
like,
so.
Stop the count! Stop the count!
It was just, stop the count. Nobody behind anymore for Kentucky.
I would have bought the last 100 just to get it.
Just to get it over there, yeah.
This also makes it for the 4th straight year that the team that wins the World Series also wins the Jello Shot competition. In 2021, right. Mississippi State, 2022, Ole Miss, 2023, LSU, and 2024, Tennessee.
After the pandemic, after the COVID year was canceled, it's a streak. So it's the after COVID like College World Series thing. Like you have to win the Jello Shot contest to win the College World Series. That's
now I don't know a lot about my correlation and causation, but I assume because the fans are there an extra week, it does lead for them to be able to drink more.
It helps.
But that's not fun. So I'm not going to talk about that.
That's what I said. You got to be.
I'm also not going to talk about a new clustering algorithm I learned about today, but I'm also not going to talk about that because that's way too nerdy. They did, however, come short of the 8 million Jello shots that I predicted for them. But they exceeded the negative 34,000 I had them doing in one of my models as well.
You win some, you lose some.
Y'all, you can overfit models using Taylor series really well. And it's a lot of fun to do because you can make those like ends of those models turn every which way. I had some absolutely disgusting numbers in terms of like quote unquote variance explained just because I was fitting 8 data points or 12 and then extrapolating it out way out. It's a lot of fun. Everything your teachers tell you not to do. Hey, who wants to coach a professional sport? Anyone?
I know my lane.
Because you're a podcaster. Everyone on here is. And so is JJ Redick. And now he's coach of the Lakers.
Well, I mean, he played the sport before.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he did.
He also coached his like a 7-year-old's YMCA team last year.
No, I mean, it's got to be easier than coaching LeBron. You think?
At this stage, yes.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay. Dealing with them parents. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
No, I'm saying parents. Like dealing with those parents gives you at least an idea of what you might experience with LeBron, especially if they try to get Bronny.
But what do you like? What is the? Let me read the quote first. Claire DeLune at Claire MPLS asked JJ, quote, what he's most looking forward to about dispelling about himself, and he said, and I quote, I don't have a good answer because I don't give a fuck. Cool.
I mean, he created a meme, which Arthur was asking for this the other day. Like the other podcast, Arthur was asking like, hey, we don't have any good memes anymore. It's just like breaking news. We don't have the Vince Carter, I got one more in me. Now you have the JJ Redick, I don't give a fuck graphic.
No, it's great. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that graphic a ton. Thank you, Athletic, for that.
I used that earlier.
Yeah, now we have a opposite end of I wasn't really. I owe you an apology. I wasn't familiar with your game.
We have a beautiful mirror here.
Yes.
I think in terms of memes, and it's lovely. This, I think I've decided that I would like to coach if it has to be a sport that I've played, and we'll say I've played in an organized sense. That really limits it, y'all. And I think it's gonna have to be soccer. From my experience, when I was 5. And I think I'm going to take on FC Dallas. I feel like that's a good move for me.
Okay. MLS, all right.
Yeah, that's a bigger stretch than I was going to go because I did cheer in middle and high school.
Okay.
But cheer is like a completely different sport now because it's 90% gymnastics and 10% cheer.
Maybe I could go down to coach like, you know what? I bet you some like 3rd-tier Brazilian team would love to have me as their coach.
That'll start in a pub league and work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just play some Football Manager, and
I'm really good at that.
Everything you need. Yeah, there you go.
It's always a 4-4-2. Start with a 4-4-2, adjust from there.
Yeah, that's the classic.
I don't know. I have some.
I'm just going full Grease 2004 low block, just absolutely atrocious.
8-1-1. Oh yeah, no,
just deal with it. Yeah.
Greece won a goddamn Euro, playing the worst soccer I have ever seen. I had just come off the 2002 World Cup, being like, I'm into soccer now. I was like 18 in 2022 or 2002, and I was like, I'm gonna watch Euro now. The fuck is this? Just the worst soccer.
Yeah. My first Euro was the Thierry Henry handball game.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Oh.
I've never gotten over it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if there was a sport that it's not, I mean, it's kind of a coach. I feel like I could be an IndyCar race strategist.
Okay.
So like I'm like making the calls about like hey, we're like, when are we gonna pit? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, what tires are we gonna put on? Or do we need to save fuel? That sort of thing. Like, I feel like I could do a good job at that. That maybe not quite coaching, like, and like you're not necessarily like running the team completely, but like I feel like the in-race stuff, like I feel like I could do that.
There's an element of coaching to that, especially if you're on team radio and you're like saying, okay, we're going to push this lap, whatever. But it's also very logical, and I feel like that plays to your strengths.
Give me the sport, y'all, that you would be the most out of your depth coaching at the very top level. Like, where
honestly, like, football.
You think football?
Like, I mean, like the thing, well, maybe hockey. Like, there's got to be sports out there that I've straight up like never even heard of or something.
No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about like stuff.
It's got to be like football or hockey, just because there's so much going on. Like, there's certain sports, right? Like baseball, for example. I don't really know a lot about baseball, but like, how hard can it be to just like, make the lineup?
See, I was gonna say baseball for me. I was gonna say baseball for me.
See, I feel like baseball I could do a decent job at because I have an understanding of baseball strategy.
I have zero.
And then it's just you work from there.
Well, I'm saying like you just, I feel like you need to, because like for football, you need to know like plays. I mean, I guess you could be like the CEO head coach, that's such a funny title. It's like like we don't actually want our coach like coaching ball.
Listen, he's just here to disrupt, okay?
Right, yeah.
We want a mascot is what we really want.
Yes, that's basically a fundraiser. More specifically, they want
a fundraiser or a recruiter.
Mm-hmm. He's here to raise awareness of our special teams.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about like on-field coaching right now. It can be unlimited. Like, yeah, like maybe you could get away with being the type of coach where like you're not even like, can the head coach not be one of the on-field? Could you just have like 11 assistant coaches?
Yeah, put me up top.
The head coach is not actually a coach. No, but
he's just shaking honestly, hands in the box.
Like I feel like there's so much about football fundamentals. Like I don't know shit about like blocking schemes, pass coverage. Like I don't know any of that. And
like when Felder talks about it, I can't. Yeah, I can wrap my head around it because he breaks it down really well. But there's an element of, man, I really don't know ball, do I?
Yeah, no, it's like that. And like also hockey. I feel like there's a lot where it's like, yeah, like there's intricacies. Everything's happening. It's very fast paced. Everything's happening at once where it's like, yeah, like I don't know this and it's not really something I can pick up.
And the adjustments happen so much faster is part of the thing with hockey.
Yeah. Like
that's the one where I'm just way out of my depth.
There are certain sports where I would screw it up. Like I guarantee
Thanks,
like
Mitch.
The Tour de France is coming up in a couple weeks, right? Like I guarantee like I don't know much about cycling. Like I'll check it out.
Ride fast.
But yeah, like I guarantee you I would screw it up. But like I don't think I would screw it up to the level like when football goes wrong, it can go really wrong. Like it's not just like, oh, they didn't like optimize this or whatever. Like no, like you got like plays getting blown up.
Sometimes your long snapper gets the yips and launches like 6 out the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
sometimes you have Dan Orlovsky as your quarterback. Listen, you can't plan for that.
No, I mean,
sometimes Xander Arlovsky can't find doesn't know where the end zone ends. Sometimes it happens.
I mean, I maybe I could translate this podcast job into like the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma Panhandle State NAIA or something like that. I'll just like copy plays from the internet, or I'll bring back the T formation. Something that's relatively simple, like a basic formation.
I wonder how much
and run like 5 plays.
I wonder how much I'll have to pay for one of those like Central Texas slot T high school guys to just sit me down and try to explain their scheme to me.
I mean,
that would be fun as hell. That'd be fun as hell.
There's coaching
Can I get
camp.
6 figures to be Mario Cristobal's 2-minute warning guy?
Yes.
And just tell him when to kneel?
So all of a sudden, we're adding positions on the field.
Watching the clock like,
Do it.
Not yet.
Someone's got to be...
Hey,
someone's got to be the like count 11 bodies on this field guy now, right?
Yeah.
So now it's no longer an excuse.
I do want to be that guy.
Yeah,
Like,
I could do that job.
Is too many men or too few men on the field?
I mean,
all you need is a little red flag and a green flag.
That's right.
I would get so hype every time.
Mm-hmm. This all of a sudden brings up so many more coaching positions here, because like we can now separate strength coach and get back coach. There could be 2 separate positions now.
We could essentially have somebody be the clock commander coordinator.
Yes.
That could be an actual position now.
Okay, but how do we get Kevin to be that guy? Because I would like that.
Kevin's like, you are the clock commander.
You just stand there next to Mario.
I'm the clock commander, and I command you to kneel.
It's time to kneel, Mario.
The penitent man.
That's right. You must kneel. Church is tomorrow. The pew is coming. Get ready to kneel.
Oh my God.
Go down.
I think that soccer might be the easiest to coach because you can just sort of be like, go out there and here, y'all know what you're doing, sort of like.
Just read inverting the triangle and that's it. Go from there.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso that shit.
I mean, my favorite soccer quote is the ball is round, the game is 90 minutes, everything else is just details. Like, that's it.
You remind me of my high school coach. You remind me of my high school coach. Like we were awful. Like our high school soccer team was just god awful. But like the only advice that he had was just basically don't think, play.
Did you have
it. And we were awful. I'm like, dude, we were like 1-14-1.
Clearly, that plan was not working.
It was not working out. The funny thing was the one game that we won 3-0. I had like a flick on a headed assist, but I got headed in the ear at the same time. So like I paid for that. We won 3-0. The one game that we drew and it was official, it was a monsoon and it was against the number 1 team.
Love it. Counts.
We won. We
had
drew
the USA cricket scenario.
1-1. 1-1. After that game was I had mud in places that I didn't realize that were there. Like you had to wear like the soccer shorts, then you wear like the sliding shorts underneath it.
Yeah.
There was just mud in the tights underneath it. I had no idea. It was a mess. They called the game at halftime. It was 1-1, and so they put it in the record books. So we got a tie. I was like, we got a draw. I'm like, yes. And I remember one game, it was just really cold. It was like 20 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And we lost 13-0.
Oh God.
It was
How is that doing anything for anyone?
That other team, it was the number 2 team. We lost 13-0, but the number 1 team we beat. We beat 1-1. I'll say that, but like we got killed. It was just like I don't even know what happened in that game. But it like when you see in the World Cup, like somebody loses, like was it like Thailand women that was like 14-0. I'm like,
Right,
I've been there.
yeah.
I've been there. Just saying you can coach that. I'm like, I don't know, man.
I
don't
there might
know.
be something more than just thinking about this, coach. I might want to do something.
I need to think. Like, I mean, I didn't understand anything of the concepts. Like, I'm just running, and I'm like, I just run towards the goal. It's that way. I'm like, no, I should sit in pockets of space. You know,
but that's
sometimes you got to go backwards to go forward. You know, I mean, like stuff like that. I would have been nice to know.
Okay, so we have then the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh yeah!
Congratulations, Florida! Congratulations to all the our South Florida folks, including the
shout out to everybody on the Libertard show. Shout out to Greg Cody, the calling Connor McDavid McOverrated. He felt vindicated that the Libertard show had him drive in a car in like the parking lot or on the street in the parade by himself.
It was great.
It was like I was just laughing at him in the car, and it kind of looked like it was a green screen. But then when they did the wide shot,
no, he was driving
the car. It was actually moving, and I lost it at that point. It was amazing. So shout out to Roy, Chris, Mike Ryan, Dan, and all of them celebrating down for the Panthers. That was an incredible game. I had my kiddo watching that with me. I put him to bed at the end of the second period, and there was no scoring in the third period, so he didn't miss any goals. So that worked out.
But then we come back to this. The fact that an American team has won the CFL Grey Cup more recently than a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup. And this always gets brought up, and it's beautiful and glorious because the last time the CFL was even in the States was 94. And
95.
And then the last, I actually don't know the answer to this. What was the last Canadian hockey team to win the
1993, the Montreal Canadiens.
The Canadiens? Okay.
With Patrick Waugh as the goalie. So that's all I can really remember about that one.
I love little bits like this because this is very niche. It's also, I wondered this. Do you think like the former players of the Baltimore Stallions get together and pop champagne like the Dolphins do, like the 85 Dolphins, whenever they keep their record one more year? Because I sure as hell would do this, but I'm also petty as shit.
So the running back on the team of the Baltimore Stallions is the all-time leading rusher for the Canadian Football League. His name is Mike Pringle.
Wait, is that real? Is that a real fact? Holy shit!
That is a real fact. Yeah, he was on the team.
Once he pops, you can't stop. Sorry, I had to get it out.
That's right, Mike Pringle. Mike Pringle, he was a running back. He went to Cal State Fullerton's football team that doesn't exist. He was drafted by the Falcons, played a year in the league, and then he played for the Eskimos, the Sacramento Surge, the Sacramento Gold Miners, the Baltimore Stallions for 2 years, got on the offseason practice squad of the Broncos, went back to the Montreal Alouettes, which essentially that's where the Stallions moved to, the current version of the Alouettes. And then he's back in Edmonton for his last 2 years. So he was 3-time Grey Cup champion. And again, I believe he is the all-time CFL leading rusher. And he is in the CFL Hall of Fame.
He played till he was like 38.
Yeah.
As a running back. Jesus Christ.
Running back in the CFL. But you think about that in the CFL, it's 2-down football. The most that they're going to like run the ball is maybe like each series like once.
So I will say, so the record that he has, by the way, it looks like it's about 2,000 yards in a season, which, I mean, they play different numbers of games. Like he played 17 games that year. It's still not a lot. Let's be real honest here.
No, but I mean, he played 17 games. He rushed for 2,000 yards in a season. His career is 16,425 rushing yards. 137 touchdowns. I mean, he's in the CFL. He has 20,254 total yards from scrimmage. So like him, him and George Reed have the most career touchdowns in the CFL.
Okay.
So I mean, like him being a part of that, he's the one that we see in the picture holding up the Grey Cup. And then there's another person in that who's battling. I think he's battling ALS, but they're doing like fundraisers for him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's just, yeah, it's something that brings up. I think they gotta pop champagne, or like the city of Baltimore's gotta celebrate it, or something. Like Baltimore pop champagne as soon as a Canadian hockey team doesn't win the Stanley Cup.
Yes,
because they don't have a,
right. Like if the 72 Dolphins get to do this,
that's right.
Then the Baltimore Stallions get to do this.
I said the 85 Dolphins. What the fuck was I thinking? Yes, sorry, 72 Dolphins. Oh my god, none of you guys said anything.
To be fair, I wasn't listening because I was remembering some guys looking through this list of Canadian football all-time leading.
No, I got you.
Yeah,
I also wasn't
passers
listening.
I didn't hear it, but it's the 72 Dolphins. I heard you say Dolphins, so I was like, okay, we're fine. So Mike Pringle is essentially Mercury Morris. So we'll say that. So like Mercury Morris was the one that always popped the champagne when the last undefeated team in the NFL gets defeated. And then, Mike Pringle will do that every time that a Canadian hockey team does not, hoist the Stanley Cup. The funny thing is that there's a ton of Canadian players on the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
But it's funny that a franchise, there.
The Canadians are doing fine in the NHL. Canada is not doing great in the NHL.
Overall,
that's the difference.
The Canadian-based franchises. I mean, Vancouver has gotten close. I mean, Edmonton has gotten close. Calgary has gotten close. Ottawa, I know they made the finals. I don't think they got close. Toronto has not done that. Montreal has gotten close.
RIP to the Quebec Nordiques.
Yes,
RIP to the Nordiques, the current Avalanche. In Colorado. So it's funny, like they won it after they left Quebec like a couple of years after that. But
yeah, which is a real knife in the back.
It hurts. But it's funny that fact just keeps coming up because we tweeted it last year about it and showing the picture, and then our tweet started to take off again like a year later. I've never had that happen. And then I believe it was Sports Uniforms. They tweeted it in 2014. It was like another account did the tweet this year. Like I think it was like Norm.
I know who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Norm. It's not Norm Charlton, but it's like like a version of Norm Charlton. But like they tweeted it, and it's just like there's so many different versions of this tweet that are still hanging around. Like I found one from 2014, and they're still true.
I would like to point out that the all-time, let me get the stat right here. The CFL all-time passing yards leader is Anthony Calvillo. You guys wouldn't need to know his name for any reason except for this. He went to Utah State, and his first team he played with was the Las Vegas Posse.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was with the Posse for a year, Hamilton for 2 years, and then the Alouettes for the rest of his career, where like he has all the records.
Yep.
And he started his career with the Las Vegas Posse, the worst CFL team that existed. So
we mentioned that on the CFL and the USA pod.
That was like 2 years ago, my friend.
It was, I know, but it was mentioned before. But it's just a lot of the CFL USA teams had like players that went on to do like amazing stuff in the CFL, and that's why we jokingly say that Shreveport saved Canada. So
it did. Dude won 3 Grey Cups. One as a coach. That's impressive. Okay, Arthur, I'm gonna give you like 3 minutes to talk about why you hate the draft, NBA draft. Go.
So here's the thing, right? Like the NBA draft, like I actually in the past have enjoyed, and it doesn't have the buzz that the NFL draft does, simply because there's just much smaller rosters, right? You think about in the NBA, there's like 12-man active rosters, and you might have like 10 players actually in the rotation playing minutes. So if you think about then drafting, like there's 30 NBA teams, there's not like 30 starters coming into the league.
Yeah.
That would, if there were, that would mean like every 5 years the league would have to turn over. There's only 5 starting spots on an NBA roster. So, and also because teams trade their picks, like there are a number of teams that are going into the draft where it's like, oh yeah, like we don't have a first round pick.
Gotcha.
I can't off the top of my head. I would have to be looking at it, but I still really like it because it has a lot of good moments, right? Like the NFL draft, like the players basically don't show up anymore. In a lot of cases, like pretty much every NBA draft hopeful is in person at the draft.
Okay.
And there are also like trades going on because the way the NBA does their schedule, we actually had a trade tonight, like while we were recording, which is why I've been distracted. With either the Knicks got a player from the Nets, but there's all these trades going on, and it's just like a real fun night online. Just a lot of it's like you're hanging out. But what they've done this year is they've changed the schedule. So it used to be that the commissioner of the NBA would conduct the first round of the draft, and as soon as he was done, the deputy commissioner would come out and conduct the second round of the draft.
Okay.
And for this year, the NBA has decided to move the second round of the draft to the next night. Or actually, it's not even the next night. It's the next day during the afternoon.
Okay.
So instead of getting the whole draft done in one night, it's going to be broken up. And that's the second round is, I think it starts at 4:00 on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
Weird.
Which is odd because my first reaction when I heard the NBA was doing a 2-night draft was like, oh, this is like a TV ratings play or whatever. But the scheduling of the second round suggests it's clearly not. So I don't know what the heck they're doing. And it's kind of funny. I mean, I think the second round of the NBA draft really is for the sickos out there. Because if you think about how big an NBA roster is, how many like starting positions there are, and then how many players are getting drafted, right? The second round is picks 31 through 60. And, you will occasionally have a player or two that gets drafted in the second round that becomes a star, that becomes someone that you've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But here, like, I just want to go through real quick. So I'm going to go backwards. I don't actually have someone for 2023. There wasn't a player that like second round picks are rarely good as rookies. So these are the best players, best second round draft pick for each year. And I'm working backwards, and I'm going to stop when I get to one that people are familiar with. So I think the best second round pick from 2022 is Andrew Nembhard.
Nope.
Okay.
The best second round pick from 2021, I would say, is Herb Jones.
Okay.
Nope.
He plays for the Pelicans, actually.
Yeah, I know. I know Herb. Not all.
Yeah,
Not on Herb.
I don't know if you'd know him if he wasn't on the Pelicans, though.
Yeah. Not on Herb.
2020, I'm honestly not sure. I'd say like maybe Paul Reed or Xavier Tillman. Like I looked through the list. I didn't see a single second round pick that is even like starting, like or like a starter when everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
2019, Nick Claxton or maybe Terrence Mann.
Okay.
One of those two.
Both, I got.
And then back in 2018, Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the Knicks.
So he's on the Knicks now. He's like an all-star, but like that went back 6 years before I actually got to someone who is like, oh yeah, that's someone that like you've heard of. So, I mean, I don't know who's gonna watch the second round of the NBA draft. Nikola Jokic was famously a second round draft pick, and he was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
That's right, Taco Bell commercial.
But that just kind of shows what the second round of the NBA draft is. That that they don't even, the players being drafted aren't even notable enough to not have Taco Bell commercials.
Those are the ones that take up like the summer league spots when they do the summer league.
Yes, like
and then,
summer league
they'll get
play
signed.
in the G League a lot.
They'll get signed to the 2-way contracts. You know, play for like the Sky Force or whatever in Sioux Falls.
There are second round picks that like don't even appear in an NBA game ever. There are honestly like there are only a handful every year that like actually stick in the league. Like forget about like being a starter, being someone you've heard of, like actually just like still being on a roster a few years later.
Okay. There you go.
But yeah, so I don't know why the NBA is doing this, why they're splitting this out into its own day, but
I don't know why they split it. Maybe it was just too long in one sitting, but it didn't feel like it was too long in one sitting. I don't.
Yeah,
like it felt like the 2 rounds was fine, but I don't know. It
felt good. Like the second round would go into like kind of late,
really
like it'd be like 11:30, and the picks come faster too once you hit the second round. So my only thought is that by doing this, the NBA can make the first round take longer and have more commercials. That's my only theory. We'll find out.
Okay, so for our last little bit, we will go back to our costumed mascot fights. We talked about the MAC last time, and I'm looking at the results right now. Our 3-way final was between Rufus the Bobcat from Ohio, Flash from Kent State, and Rocky the Rocket Man from Toledo. Rufus the Bobcat wins with 39% of the vote because,
that's close.
Like I said, it is. But I'm going to say it's because we had tape on him. That's why.
We had tape. Nobody forgot the fight with the Buckeye.
Right. He has a body count. And
that is something that is unforgettable if you are a college football fan. And he's living off that rep. That's 2007. Rufus has got to fight more. Well, I mean, he did beat the crap out of ULM in 2012.
That's a yes.
In the bowl game. So, yes, he did.
So, let's do Conference USA tonight.
Oh.
And we're going to have to look some of these up, folks, because this is going to be where I start to get a little weird.
Yeah, like a lot of these G5 ones, I'm going to be honest, like we don't necessarily know off the top of our head.
That's why we're learning. That's the best part.
And this is kind of the summer of learning about your mascot, your favorite team's mascot. We may or may not know off the top of the head. You may have a live mascot that we associate with the team, but we don't necessarily know, what the costume version is. If there's a new version, an old version, we're going to have fun digging and looking at it.
So our first 2 competitors are Sparky the Eagle from Liberty.
Okay.
And Sammy the Bearcat from Sam Houston State. Now, I'm pretty sure I know what Sparky looks like. Sparky is sort of just your typical kind of eagle. Like, he's got a little, like, ruffled head, but nothing too crazy there.
Very big eyes.
Yeah, like he's a predator. That's why.
Okay.
And then Sammy the Bearcat. Like, y'all, I like Sammy. Sammy's bright orange. He looks a little goofy. I don't know. Oh, there's a Samantha Bearcat too. Of course there is.
Oh my God. I found an article of the history of the... Oh my God.
Boy.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ.
I love like podcasting is supposed to be, an audio medium, but like when we do this, we just laugh.
Yeah.
This one's got a stick.
These are all awful. These are all like does he have cauliflower body? I'm not sure.
I don't know, Sam. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It looks like a pinata.
Sure, is that not scabies? Like, what is going on?
I know, man. It's really weird.
The one with the sailor.
I'm gonna give this one to Sammy.
It's 100% Sammy. It was never.
I was just making sure we were all on the same page there. Okay.
Yeah, I lean that way. I mean, it's a cat versus a bird. The thing about like Sammy, what I can see in the eyes, it's like they're friendly eyes, right? In the mascot, and when the pupils are not dilated, but like I have a feeling they can just activate, and then here comes the Bearcat out.
Okay, there you go.
Out of nowhere.
I was gonna make a joke about the eyes, like, oh, they're not like unfriendly. They're a little bit friendly. What are you doing on Sunday? Do you want to go get some coffee?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Samantha looks like she lives in Whoville.
Yeah, Samantha's had some looks over the years, y'all.
Jesus Christ.
Samantha's had some looks.
Holy crap. That looks like, they need one of those giant Texas homecoming mums.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Like the giant like ribbon thing just needs to be on Samantha, and she only comes out for homecoming.
So then next up we have Cocky the Gamecock from Jacksonville State.
All right. I need
and
to see that one.
Champ from Louisiana Tech.
Okay. Me trying not to be biased against Louisiana Tech.
So Champ looks like a bulldog-ass bulldog, which I appreciate. They make him look aggressively bulldoggy with like lots of jowls and shit.
Oh, he's real jowly.
Yeah. Like he's got lots of folds, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
there's a lot of jowls.
Folds bulldog.
Now, what does Jacksonville State's Cocky look like? That's a chicken ass chicken, y'all. He's got feathers. I know what dogs do to chickens. Like this, I don't know if this is close. Because look at other Cocky. I got both Cockies here. South Carolina Cocky is like streamlined and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville State Cocky is feathery.
This is definitely a case for
South Carolina Cocky looks like a shoe bill, which scares me a lot more than looking like a chicken.
Let me get you some past Cockies and see if these horrify you either.
Oh God!
Here's Cocky. Here's Cocky as a Venetian clown, I think. Yes, I love old Cocky so much.
Oh my God!
What?
There's Cocky with human legs.
It's not just the human legs.
Reenacting the Karate Kid.
Yes, it's the painted on eyes that have clearly not been repainted.
That is terrifying.
Several years. That's the terrifying part for me.
I'm gonna give this to Champ on my side. I know that's gonna hurt Commish.
Yeah, no,
all right.
It's Champ 100%.
He's a bulldog ass looking bulldog.
This is some eldritch horror ass shit.
I really think we could do a game of Call of Cthulhu, but just with horror mascots as monsters.
That is kind of like,
Yes.
The only thing is I can think that Cocky could do something is, there's a picture of Cocky with the track and field team, and if maybe he was running with a knife, that may help. But otherwise, Louisiana Tech's.
He also looks high. He looks high there as well. Not as high as
he does. Yeah, he's
not as high as our wonderful.
Not as high as
Bronco boy,
Buster Bronco. I love all the Western Michigan fans today too. They're like, we totally miss him.
they love him.
They love him.
I would miss him too.
With good reason.
But yeah, I got La Tech moving up.
Next up,
I hate to say it as ULM person, I gotta give it to them. I'm sorry.
Listen, it's okay. It's okay. You admit your biases. You understand. It's like me acknowledging that Monty and Up with Montana are the superior mascot and superior song.
Monty's great. Can't argue
Monty's,
it.
I can't hate the game.
Next up, we have Lightning from Mitsu.
Wonder what that horse looks like.
And Scrappy from Kennesaw. I wonder if he sounds like this.
Oh God, Lightning looks like.
I don't know. He's not like goofy looking. He looks more serious.
Well,
it's hard to describe what he looks like.
What's the right version here?
Not the one with the black eyes, I don't think.
Okay.
Because the one with the black eyes is scaring me.
I got the history of the Blue Raiders mascot. Read more. Yes. All right.
He looks like a horse with lightning bolts as eyes, maybe.
Okay.
Also, there's a kids club. Let me show you what the kids club picture.
He may or may not have had wings at one point.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And some serious teeth.
Here's him in the most frat room I've seen in a long time, y'all. I need you to tell me the things in this picture that tip you off that this is a fraternity room.
Those are airplane seats.
Yep, airplane seats.
Everything is built out of 2x4s.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a bottle of detergent just sitting on top of the bookshelf or dresser.
Yeah.
Everything's piled on a very cheap shelf.
Yes.
Detergent on the dresser.
Plastic shelf.
Scary lofted bed.
I can count.
I see some cheese spread on top of a mini fridge and a blue Solo cup.
3 loose Solo cups and an entire package.
What's the liquor? Is that a lamp? Actually, no, that's a lamp, I think.
There's just a pair of jeans with the belt still in them lying on the floor under his legs.
Well, yeah, you gotta have that ready to go.
Ready to go. If you're going down to the basement, you gotta put your jeans on, your basement jeans.
Lightning is not wearing pants in this picture, so clearly he took them off to relax.
This is the most frat ass storm room I've seen in a long time.
Totally. Yeah. We sure it's not the Black Eyes mascot?
I don't know. I think that's an older one.
Okay. Because that's like a demon horse.
Yeah, again,
it looks like a rhinoceros. Does it not have a horn?
And it's not this one, right?
Just like a mark on its nose.
No, I don't think it's that one. I think it's the one with like the slightly open mouth now, because that's too many teeth.
The one with the
Pegasus one with the teeth is terrifying.
Okay.
And then we have Scrappy from Kennesaw State.
Okay. I don't know.
Scrappy's got some eyes on him.
Scrappy's got the face of murder, and he's an owl, so that's what he does. This is a tough one. I kind of like both of these mascots, which feels weird to say. I tend to default to owls. So I like owls.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
I kind of really like Scrappy.
I do. I respect the anime
he also just looks mean.
I respect the anime scars of our horse friend.
Y'all, they've fixed Scrappy, because I'm going to show you old Scrappy.
Oh God!
I just found old
Scrappy is fluffy, like aggressively fluffy.
A biblically accurate owl. Look at you.
Yeah,
old Scruffy is also very like blocky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
he looks like
barrel chested.
Someone from that era of no one knew how to draw a bear.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah. He looks like an incorrectly drawn
Could
bear.
you have guessed owl from this?
No.
With no context.
I mean, it's the beak. It's the beak and the eyes and the ears. Like I would be able to surmise the general shape of an owl.
Mean, going back to tabletop gaming, like why are they not the Kennesaw State Owl Bears?
Right.
Like
can we
just go full D&D with it?
Who growl?
Again, Call of Cthulhu, we got to get that going.
But we're talking new Scrappy, which I really like.
New Scrappy is, again, a big upgrade.
I guess I don't like horse mascots because I'm leaning towards Scrappy here.
No, I think our horse friend is probably the one I've liked the most, aside from the very high horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, it's the anime scars, like those are growing on me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Scrappy.
Yeah, he just looks too happy. He doesn't have the want to.
Whereas Scrappy looks like he'll fuck you up.
Scrappy's
you know what he could do in the night.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the name is Scrappy. Ready to scrap. And it's an owl.
He got that name somehow.
He got that name, and he's from like outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Probably scrapping at a Waffle House.
Probably worked for Rooflame. You think he probably worked for Rooflame.com.
Probably done. The only thing that I love Lightning, and and I feel like I would like Lightning as a roommate more than in a fight.
Right. This is an owl that has been to Lake Lanier. I'm not going to cross this owl for money.
Yep, I'm with you. Okay. You got me on
the owl was born from the waters of Lake Lanier. The demon owl.
Next up is Rory the Panther. You start pulling pictures. And survey says Pistol Pete from Mexico State. I don't think we can count him.
Yeah, I was looking up all the mascots.
I think Pistol Pete's like an actual
so we
just
can't
a
count
person.
him.
It's a person mascot.
So Rory's going to go through.
Your West Virginia Mountaineer.
Rory's got to go through.
Oh, I don't like Rory.
Well, I mean, again, there is no costume mascot.
I know. I don't like Rory.
Like, they dress him up a little bit, but not to the extent that I would consider it like a costume mascot.
Like, Rory looks like what my local middle school might get.
Right. He has very big Pink Panther vibes. Yeah. And that doesn't scare me.
He's very family friendly.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to verify if this is real for Pistol Pete.
There's no way that's real.
No, everything I've seen, like even the Wikipedia page is just a dude.
Yeah, it's a dude who sometimes has a fake mustache.
Can I talk about a long lost FIU mascot? I got one for you.
Oh, I don't like that tone.
We got Sunblazer. Not a Targaryen.
Oh. Okay, I respect the name, but I'm gonna be scared of what I'm gonna see.
Oh, this is a 9 meg picture of Sunblazer, apparently.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna need you, Brigit, to describe it as soon as you see it. Go ahead.
All right. So it is an amorphous blob with a head in the shape of a sun, at least like 3/4 of a sun, because the sun head does connect to let's say a slimmer Big Red body.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
The hair looks like Justin Timberlake's kind of curlies going on, but a little less gel happening with the curls. And
tell me his teeth. What's the dental situation?
So I'm gonna go from the eyebrows down.
Okay,
the eyebrows are in a half surprised, like, oh, didn't see you walk in there. They don't really match the eyes.
No, not at all.
Because the eyes are starting to squint at you, like starting to mean mug.
In a worried way.
Yeah, he wants to mean mug, but he's not really sure what his face is doing. Mm-hmm. And then the teeth. So what shape is this?
I don't know.
It's like an exclamation point laid on its side.
Yeah, like
with very big teeth on the one side with the big part of the exclamation point, the big round part, and then they just decrease exponentially as they go across his face.
I love him.
And he's standing on a soccer ball with a basketball on his foot and a baseball bat leaning against his knee.
And he's holding a badminton racket.
A racket of unknown origin, let's say.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good.
That is Sunblazer, listeners.
Oh,
his mouth looks like the New Zealand fern.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Got it. Got it.
Oh, man.
Commish, you have found costumed Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
But as he's not recent, I can't count him. But I do like him.
Can't count him. So there was a costume Pistol Pete, which I found in the history
butt chin.
Of Pistol Pete.
He's got some major butt chin.
In 1988, there was a costume like head Pistol Pete. It seemed like a normal person. Still, like in the Pistol Pete costume, there was chaps that had New Mexico State on the leg. A standard maroon cowboy shirt, just with the costume head, like kind of resembling a slimmer, trimmer Oklahoma State Pistol Pete with a little bit of Mexican flair, New Mexican flair, I'd say. But really, you can't count that one. And then the Sunblazer, which we can't count that one either.
We gotta go with Rory.
So we're stuck with Rory moving to the next round.
We're gonna need to trim one before our final, so I think Rory's gonna get
well, I mean, we'll see.
The last round, is tough though because it's Pay Dirt Pete versus Big Red. I need someone to tell me that Pay Dirt Pete has a chance here. I don't think he does though. Pay Dirt Pete has a porn stash and it always has bugged me. I do like older Pay Dirt Pete a lot more. This is like, there's gold in those hills, Pete.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. There's
God.
gold in them there hills. Thank
the gold in them there hills.
Oh,
there's gold in them there hills.
Whereas the new one has the porn sash. It's weird. I get no. This
I
is
feel
gotta
like
be
this
Big
is
Red
a
for
bad
me.
matchup for Pay Dirt Pete.
What does
Yeah.
he look like? He looks like the sausage race mascots. It's the same kind of like smushy face.
Uh-huh. No, I got you there.
With none of the charm.
And this is a picture of Big Red, wooing a girl. So
well, yeah.
I'm just gonna say
he's gonna resist that.
Right. His Riz is too big, yo. Right? That's what the kids say?
Yo? Why are they saying yo?
I know. I don't know what's saying yo. You're right.
Who's saying yo?
Me, because I'm old and washed.
Okay.
That is true. I am too. I forgot the second half of that statement.
My
God.
God.
Yeah, you are.
There's a
Me too,
combo.
Thanks for agreeing with me. Yeah, I know.
All the Pay Dirt Pete's together.
Yeah, no.
My God.
That middle one.
I really like the one that's all beard and hat.
Yeah,
I think
like you can't even see the eyes of that.
Oh
my God, what is this one?
That might have some racial issues.
This is David the No-Mass Miner.
Yeah, God. No, this gal, as much as we want to do this is Big Red's. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was never. Now I'm just pining for our old friend.
Holy crap! Look at this one that I found on Pay Dirt Pete.
Okay, so this is this is the like when he was a minor, like wearing
The
overalls
mean
and
Pay Dirt Pete.
the chiseled jaw.
God,
This
the
guy reminds
chin
me
on
of
that
Steely
guy.
McBeam.
He
There's-
is.
No, I like him.
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
Purdue Pete's extended.
Yeah,
family.
Yes. He's
I think-
definitely a cousin.
Big
Whether
Red
it's
just
second cousin, we don't know.
Big Red, like he'll swing the pickaxe at Big Red, and Big Red will just eat the pickaxe.
We're at cartoon.
Yeah.
We're at the cartoon physics problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big Red
Just
Big Red
Swallows
can probably
current.
swallow Pay Dirt Pete whole.
Okay, so
If
here's
Pay
where,
Dirt Pete
we
had
know
a
he
better
can unhinge
matchup.
his jaw. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So here's where we're at. We've got 5, and we need to get 4 for our followers. So we're gonna
No,
have
we
to
just
act
need 3.
one.
3.
Okay, but I
Minimum
have
3.
5. Get me
Okay.
5 to 4 is easier than 5 to 3.
Okay.
We have Sammy the Bearcat,
Okay.
Champ from Louisiana Tech,
All right.
Kennesaw State, Scrappy,
Okay.
Rory,
Okay.
and Big Red.
All right. So
I'm just saying, Rory.
Yeah, I was
Rory's
gonna say, can
gone.
we just eliminate one because I think I'm eliminating Rory. Just on
Uh-huh.
the plate
That's
call
where
for
I'm
that.
I'm on board with that.
Okay. So we'll leave the
Commish,
final
are you
4.
gonna try to? Are you not gonna try to talk us out of just immediately axing Rory?
Oh no, Rory's fine. It's gone.
Okay, there we go.
If Rory had like an actual matchup in the first round, probably not advancing. If
Yeah, I
there
can't.
was
I can't
against
see him
any
advancing
other
against
mascot.
anyone else.
Like, I mean, I could not see Rory. Yeah, it's more like Rory.
More like Rory.
But like, it's more like
Ayo.
roar. It's just it seemed kind of just. It's like a panther on the beach, just drinking an umbrella drink, just chilling.
Sunblazer has a better matchup.
The Sunblazer has.
What does the
You know-
Florida Panthers mascot look like? No, he also sucks.
Yeah, more respectable like cat mascot, I would say.
Yeah, I guess so. I will post the inflatable version of him because it is horrifying. Like all inflatable mascots are. They are awful and should never be around things, especially the kind that are just torsos.
That was a choice on Dimensions.
Uh huh. Reminds me of the old
It's
rap.
like a Mr. Potato Head.
The old
You
Yeah.
said it's just torsos. There is no torso.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it's just head. It's just
a
head.
head that goes
Yeah,
directly
there's
into
no
legs.
there's no neck
His
either.
arms are mounted to his cheeks.
Right, like his arms are coming out like he's got like Eddie Gordo surgery, except it's just like he's got Gordo surgery, but it's just the one of just like the one arms. Like what happened
Do you know
to
the name of
other
the
arm?
Florida mascot?
What is it?
Stanley C. Panther.
No.
Oh. Don't do shit like that. So in our final brawl, we have Sammy the Bearcat.
Crap, they have a rat mascot.
They do.
It looks
it's
like,
great.
This looks like this looks like a mugshot for the rat. Please load. Please load. Internet. It's processing.
Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
Oh my god. Please load.
Great audio.
Here, I'll upload it because your internet's slow as shit. There it is.
I don't know what's going on.
It's
there
great.
It is.
I would follow this mascot into war.
Hell and back I would.
We've had birds with teeth. This is rat with exactly one tooth.
Rat with tooth.
So Sammy the Bearcat
and a black eye.
He only needs the one.
I mean,
he opens beer cans with it.
I mean, he's a hockey player. He lost the other one.
Lost on the team, you know.
Sammy, Champ, Scrappy, and Big Red. Now, I have a feeling I know how this is going to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's likely.
I'm okay with it, though.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Got to put it up to the people, you know.
Yep. Okay, folks. That's what we got for tonight. We will put this poll up, and we will talk to you guys on the other side. Have a good week.